Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we are talking 5 potential replacements for linebacker Tyrel Dodson, who was released on Monday by the Seahawks. We will go over our 5 options and explain how they could fit into the Seahawks defense coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, quick little fan survey for the folks out there. I want to know, have you been a Seahawks fan for 10 years or more? If you have, go ahead and like today's video. If not, if it's shorter than that, and that's fine too, we welcome all here on the channel. Go ahead and comment and tell us how long you've been a Seahawks fan, and we'll get started with today's show. For now, the Seahawks are going to roll with the rookie linebacker Tyrice Knight to fill the role vacated by Tyrel Dodson. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the Seahawks are done there, that they're not going to add anyone else potentially to the rotation. And the Seahawks have a couple options here. The trade deadline has passed, but Seattle could still add another linebacker through free agency. Also, they can make a waiver claim if there is a team that does depart from a linebacker here in the coming days. Or they could sign a player from another team's practice squad to their active 53-man roster. So with that said, here are our candidates. Let's begin with the most notable name on our list, and that is Shaq Leonard. Shaquille Leonard, the 29-year-old free agent, and this is somebody that we talked about here on the channel even when Dodson was still around. This is the one that makes the most sense. Of all the players that we're going to discuss today, Shaq Leonard has the best resume of anybody we're talking about. A 3-time first-team All-Pro as recently as 2021, and if you're talking about somebody to just join for these circumstances of a short-term solution just to get you through the season, Shaq Leonard is best equipped for this situation Seattle's in. They're not necessarily looking for a guy like Leonard as a long-term solution. They wouldn't even be looking for him potentially to pass up Tyrice Knight on the depth chart, but just as a depth piece, somebody to back up Tyrice Knight as well as Ernest Jones IV, the NFL's forced fumbles leader in 2021, a 3-time Pro Bowler previously with the Colts and the Eagles. The production's been pretty solid throughout his career. Last season, played in 14 games with the Colts and Eagles, had 88 tackles with 4 TFLs and 1 sack. You look at what he did in 2021 and in 2020, 122 tackles in 2021, 132 tackles in 2020. This is somebody, folks, that if an injury were to happen to Knight or Ernest Jones, Shaq Leonard would be somebody that's more than capable of getting the job done and could start if his name was needed upon to fill one of those potential roles for Seattle. Let's ask you, your chance to be John Schneider. Should the Seahawks sign Shaq Leonard? You got 2 options here. Type S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in, let us know what you think. All week long in the lead-up to the Seahawks matchup with the San Francisco 49ers, we are in a sub-battle this week. We don't want to just beat the Niners on the football field, but we want to beat them off the football field as well and show why we have the best fans, not just in the NFC West, but across the rest of the National Football League. Sub it up. Sub for Seahawks dubs. Let's win this Seahawks-Niners sub-battle. As we'll be doing this leading up to the watch party this week. We're bringing you daily news and rumors here on the channel, live shows, watch parties, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. It's all right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. Next on our list, let's go to another veteran, as we have Dion Jones on the list, the 30-year-old free agent. And the thing with Dion Jones, although just a few years ago he was a top player at his position, if we're going to be frank with y'all, it's been a while since he was good, since he played at a very high level in the National Football League. 2017, he was a Pro Bowler in his second year in the league, coming off the all-rookie team selection in 2016, previously playing with the Falcons, the Browns, the Panthers, and the Bills. And there was some excitement when he joined the Falcons. There was excitement when he joined the Browns. But really the last few years. As you can see, when he went to the Browns and the Panthers, it really just didn't work out, as they didn't think they were getting the player that they got. They didn't get the player that they thought they were getting from the Atlanta Falcons, who had 137 tackles back in 2021. But nonetheless, there could still be something there potentially, and a cheap option. All these guys are cheap options potentially for Seattle if they were to go that route. More to come here on Seahawks Today, but first let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Tushy, the modern bidet. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Tushy. Let me explain why. 'Tis the season for uncomfortable family dinners. Now it's the time to upgrade your only escape hatch from that table by installing a soothing, refreshing bidet in your bathroom. I got to tell you, folks, Tushy makes my butt feel so good, and it'll make your butt feel so good too. It's so comfortable when you're sitting on the seat. We've all been there when we got the newspaper or the magazine, and we're just taking our time, just kind of enjoying ourselves. And Tushy is going to let you want to just sit there a little bit longer. I can tell you that because it's got a fantastic feeling. The installation is simple. Takes about 10 minutes to complete. Literally anybody can do it. Even I can do it. Big Tex definitely can do it. People who have made the switch to Tushy use up to 80% less toilet paper. No more clogged toilets. Save your money and your ass at the same time. Give the gift of practical luxury that benefits everyone in your household. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code CHAT. And don't forget to give us a shout out when you're there and let them know we sent you. Go to hellotushy.com for the best gift this holiday season. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Up next, we find Quan Alexander, the 30-year-old linebacker who's currently with the Denver Broncos practice squad. And kind of a common theme that we've discussed so far at this point is talking about players that maybe their better days are behind them. At one point in time, Quan Alexander was a disruptor, and we saw it firsthand when he was playing for the Niners in this division. He's been a journeyman playing for the Bucs, the Niners, the Saints, the Jets, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. A Pro Bowler back in 2017, was the NFL's solo tackles leader in 2016. And you look at the more recent years, based on the fact that he's still on the Broncos practice squad, that he was with the Steelers last year, the Jets before that. There is a common theme here that teams are not giving up on Quan Alexander just yet. He's obviously showing something, whether it be in practice or the workouts that he's doing. He just hasn't put it together quite yet compared to what he did a few years ago as far as that goes. So far this season on the Broncos practice squad, he's been activated to play in 3 games, has 8 tackles with 1 forced fumble. If you had to pick between these two, would you rather roll with Dion Jones or would you rather roll with Quan Alexander? Type DJ for Dion Jones, type KA for Quan Alexander, and let us know. Up next, we find the 27-year-old Las Vegas Raiders practice squad member, Blake Lynch. And if that name is familiar to you Seahawk fans, it should be, as he had a short stint in Seattle not too long ago. He's played for the Vikings, the Cardinals, the Chargers, and the Seahawks. Also played in 1 game this season for the Chargers. And a decent amount of experience, about 28 games career games played, that is, with 7 starts throughout his time in the National Football League. And you look at the numbers, he hasn't done a ton. 2022 did not play a single snap, but did play in 7 games last year for LA, and also played 1 game earlier this year there with the Chargers. And you go back, the most time that he got recently was 2021 with the Vikings when he had 35 tackles with 1 TFL and 2 sacks. This name might be the best of them all, potentially speaking. That is Rayquan McMillan, a free agent, 28 years old, most recently with the New England Patriots, and kind of similar situation to Tyrel Dodson. I was surprised that the Patriots cut him a couple weeks ago, as he was one of the key pieces to the Patriots defense before he was released. Ultimately, the Patriots turned to younger talent, guys that they want to develop. The Patriots aren't going anywhere this year, so they want to give other guys another opportunity, and they move on from McMillan. This is somebody that's played a lot of football in his career, 70 career games played with 37 starts, most recently with the Patriots, also played with the Dolphins and the Raiders as well. And this is somebody that this season was an impact player for New England. He was one of their leading tacklers. In 9 games played, had 45 tackles with 1 TFL. Didn't see any action in 2023, but did see a bit of time with New England in 2022 with 35 tackles, 5 TFLs, and 1 sack. What do you have to lose? It might be worth a shot just to see what was missing. Why did it not work with New England? Could this be a swap out, essentially, with Tyrel Dodson of going with a player that was in a similar circumstance? Who is a free agent linebacker the Seahawks should sign? We've gone over 5 names. There's others out there. Who comes to mind? Weigh in, let us know. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.